everyone, Gary Simon here, and we got an exciting one because today this is the very first video that's a part of a 100% free course that's going to teach you how to build smart contracts through Ethereum, and it's going to be targeted for absolute beginners. If you have no clue what I just said, you're the target demo. So this first video is just going to be kind of like an introduction to, what a smart contract is, a decentralized app, and also in a very basic sense, what a blockchain is. So what is a blockchain? Well, like almost everything in life, something you don't understand kind of sounds scary, but don't worry, it's actually very simple. So in short, a blockchain is simply a decentralized database, or ledger as it's sometimes referred to as, that contains a list of records or data. So distributed means that instead of it being stored on some central device like a computer or a server somewhere, well, the entire database is actually spread out on a bunch of different computers. So this is referred to as being a peer-to-peer network. And now if you remember Napster, that was a peer-to-peer file sharing program for music. So the individual records in this distributed database are stored and referred to as blocks, which are linked together and secured through cryptography. So why do they have to be secured? Well, in the case of cryptocurrencies, which are built on blockchains, and there's some exceptions like the IOTA Tangle, I'm not going to get into that though, security and immutability, are very important for obvious reasons. You're dealing with important data. So the data contained in a blockchain is immutable, which means it cannot be changed once it's been confirmed. So in this context, it's tamper-proof. So there's a lot more about the technicalities of how a blockchain works. So instead of me going into details about that, there are two resources, videos that I want you to watch that were created by other individuals that give you a really thorough rundown about the concepts and also the technicalities behind blockchains and how they work. So I want you to watch those in succession. All right, so now that leads us to what a smart contract is. So the Bitcoin blockchain stores data that's specific to keeping track of currency balances between different parties. Now the Ethereum blockchain expands on Bitcoin in that it can store and do much more than the Bitcoin blockchain. Ethereum allows developers like yourself to build dApps, or decentralized apps. So these decentralized apps are defined by smart contracts. So a smart contract allows individuals, and this is a very conceptual definition, it allows individuals to exchange data in a trusted, conflict-free manner without relying on a third party, like say a bank, lawyer, or notary. So these Ethereum contracts are stored as special transactions on the Ethereum blockchain, which you can then use to build applications. So you can kind of think of smart contracts sort of like decentralized APIs. Now, due to smart contracts being stored on the Ethereum blockchain, they need to be validated or mined like any other transaction. So because of this, there is a small cost associated with deploying a smart contract and also altering its state, like when you update the data. So fortunately, in this course, we're going to be developing in a test environment, so it's not going to cost you absolutely anything. All right, so what are the use cases for smart contracts? Well, because of the unique properties associated with smart contracts, being that they're decentralized, they're secure, they're fast, and there are savings compared to hiring third-party intermediaries, and the fact that they're always backed up, then they lend themselves to a variety of use cases. For instance, voting. So since the dawn of every government, which I hate, we have, voter fraud and we have tampering. Now, smart contracts can make it impossible for individuals and governments to tamper with voting records once they've been confirmed on a blockchain, for instance. Now, also record keeping. So this kind of goes hand in hand with voting above, because votes are simply records that detail an individual and their candidate selection. But other types of record keeping could include establishing and securing electronic medical records, case history for law, etc. Also, digital identities it can handle. There are also use cases for the IoT, Internet of Things, real estate and mortgages, auctions, etc. So there's a mess of other potential use cases, but hopefully you now have a decent idea of where this can be useful. So now let's talk, I'm not going to really talk about it too much, but next enter the picture is how do you actually code a smart contract? Well, you do that with Solidity. So Solidity is the language that you use to code the actual smart contracts. And the syntax is very similar to JavaScript, and it's designed with the Ethereum virtual machine in mind. So in this course, we will use Solidity to create our smart contracts. And we will do this in the next lesson in a web-based IDE called Remix. I'll see you then.